Hey everybody, my name's Seth. Today's going to be another quick video on the 6th house where we're going to talk about why your coworkers love or hate you. More than likely it's going to be a little bit of both. So for Aries, you earn a lot of respect around the workplace because your coworkers love how hardworking you are and how focused you can be. But you're not very affable. You can turn people off a lot. Some can really end up hating you because you're not a joy to be around. Learn a joke or two. Learn to play nice a little bit. Learn to try to, be a little bit more affable. Get people to like you more. Learning to be agreeable can do a lot for you in the workplace. Now with Taurus on your 6th house cusp, this is another hard-working sign. What your coworkers love about you more compared to Aries hardworking is the fact that you are reliable. They can rely on you to continuously do what you do and to do it well, probably do it the best. And it makes it very easy to like you because you're a staple of their workplace. You're a part of what they call their job. Now, one thing that could really turn people off is that you have a tendency to either overshare or under listen. Usually you're engaged in some type of conversation with your coworkers and you're either like completely blanked out, not listening, or you're talking and still not listening, and you just end up talking too much. Small talk is a skill that needs to be developed for everyone, but it is certainly a skill that needs to be developed to find some good balance within your workplace. With Gemini on your 6th house cusp, what your coworkers are really loving is your wit, is how funny you are and how clever you are, and the fact that like your small talk is so amusing. You're kind of just a fun person to have around the job, but also you get your work done in such a clever, innovative way that people just don't really understand how you manage to do it all. What they won't like, or what they might even grow to hate, is how cutthroat you are. Your competitive nature can kind of turn the work into an arena or turn the work into a board game. To everyone else, it's a job, where to you, it's something you try to win at. So it can be a big turnoff. Try to learn some team building skills and try to focus on the team and understand that there's no opponents. It's just a shared goal. For Cancer on the 6th house cusp, you have devotion winning you a lot of fans. How honestly and obviously you are devoted to your work. It creates this, again, this level of respect where people know that you're the person that comes in and takes things seriously, takes at least their job seriously, and kind of leaves everything else at the door. Now, what can really turn your coworkers off or even have them grow to hate you is how harsh you can be, especially emotionally. When people come to you with emotional problems, you're kind of harsh about what you have to say and your advice, if you even decide to give any. And just kind of like your additions to conversation, especially if it's emotional, can be a bit on the harsh side. So you're going to want to try to treat your work environment as an emotional, safe place. Kind of leave your judgments to yourself. Try to not really pass judgment or state what you think about other people's feelings so bluntly. Try to treat everyone as if you're talking to a child. Treat everyone like you're talking to your child, and keep your work environment as a safe place. With Leo on the 6th house cusp, you gain tons and tons of love at work, and it's because you're such a loving person. You're such a fun person to have on staff, and you bring kind of this sense of drama that of course can be grating sometimes, but no one's going to hate you for that. But you bring a level of interest to everything because there is that underlying level of drama that kind of follows you. What will spark your coworkers to kind of dislike you or even hate you is the fact that you are not pulling your own weight. Your work ethic is sort of unreliable, and that can really get in the way of your relationships with your coworkers. Really try to learn how to pull more than your own weight. Go out there and make sure that you're doing what you can and maybe a little bit more than what you can. Make sure that you've earned all of the fun and relaxation that you kind of enjoy and that everyone else can enjoy with you. With Virgo on the 6th house cusp, a lot of the love that you receive at work comes from trust, again, like other signs we've talked about so far. But here, it's the idea that your coworkers really love that they can trust you to just kind of handle the details. They don't feel the need to watch over you. They don't feel the need to check in with your progress. They can just really trust that, like, they give you something, they say, hey, these details need to be worked out. Can you handle it? The answer is yes, and then they can walk away and know the job's going to get done. That's what they really love. Now, what they don't like, and which can easily turn into hatred, is the fact that you are so impatient with everyone else. The fact that you kind of expect everyone to work at the same level as you at all times for as long as you can. And that will grate on people, and they will get very annoyed with you very quickly. Think of your coworkers, think of your fellow staff as an investment. You are investing in them, and they are investing in you to be able to continue having a positive and productive work environment. So invest in that, and understand that when you are being impatient and when you're pressuring people, or when you're causing kind of disruption based off of your approach, you're not helping the investment. You're hurting it. For Libra on the 6th house cusp, you gain notoriety at work, actually, a little bit, because you are so likable and so capable and so friendly with everyone. You're more than likely at least on good terms with everyone around, at least on the surface. And it goes without saying that the love is there and that people like you and that you're likable. Now, on the flip side, which Libra is very good at, having a very distinct flip side, you can kind of be a bully. And not like, the typical type of bully, but more like a Mean Girls bully, man or guy, where it's a lot of rumor spreading and drama that's underneath the surface, having these kind of fights with your coworkers that are not outwardly aggressive, but that are clearly you and someone else trying to make the other feel weaker, trying to make the other feel insecure, trying to make the other feel inferior. There's a lot of that going on, and that kind of social undercurrent of discord can get people to really, behind your back, hate you. Allow yourself to get to know your coworkers better. Allow yourself to get to know them better so your judgments of them can change. Allow conversation to paint a picture of who they are rather than what you see and what you determine. Now, with Scorpio on the 6th house cusp, this is all about the example that you set. You set a very good example for how to be skilled at the job that you're doing, where everyone else is trying to figure out how can they be as skilled as you. You're just kind of floating along. You come into a job and you immediately pick up on what's going on. You may not be the best at it, you may not be the fastest at it, but you're the one who makes the least mistakes in the shortest amount of time. It has to do with your ability to take things seriously, but not too seriously at the same time, to kind of keep this even temperament. Now, what your coworkers will learn to dislike and almost hate in you is the fact that you can be so goddamn selfish. You can be selfish with your time, you can be selfish with your energy, you can just be selfish with physical things. You just tend to not be good at sharing. This doesn't mean that you have to share. No one has to share with anyone. But if you want to balance out relationships with your coworkers, or if you want to have better, more positive relationships with your coworkers, you're going to do best trying to find a way to show love and appreciation. It does not mean you have to share. It does not mean you have to overextend yourself or give more of your time than you have to give. But find a way to show love and appreciation, even if it's just simply saying, I appreciate you guys. Find some way to let them know that you're not as selfish as you seem sometimes. So with Sagittarius on your 6th house cusp, this is all about how much fun you are, kind of like you find with Leo, but you're more of a blast to work with. You're more of a blast to watch work. Your coworkers love watching you do that, watching you kind of zip around and get things done and laugh and joke and make it all look effortless. But because they are your coworkers, the thing that can become a dislike or even become hatred is the fact that you expect a lot of support. You understand that you are fun. You understand that you get your job done. And you also understand that people like having you around and that you're kind of a commodity. So you tend to rely on your coworkers to get the smaller things done. You expect them to handle the details while you handle the big stuff. And that's not really fair. Everyone needs their time to shine. Everyone needs to be able to have a day where they can be kind of floating along and not taking everything as seriously, just like you do that every day. So learn to rely on yourself more. Learn to oscillate between being the carefree worker and the person that handles the details, because it keeps things fair and it keeps things positive in your work environment. So with Capricorn on the 6th house cusp, the idea of a workhorse is an understatement. Your coworkers love just how much fucking work you get done. You come in and you get shit done. And they love how reliable you are. They love almost being able to rely on you to get their work done if they can really figure it out right. Like, you're just kind of the person that comes in and does the work of 10 men, 10 women. Now, what they can complain about, and what they might complain about or even hate you about, is the fact that you are so much in your own world. That idea of having to find a way to get you to do their work, it's because they have to find a way to make it look like it's your idea. They have to find a way to slip it into your world, because that's where you are. You're not engaged with the people around you the ways that other people usually are with their coworkers. That's probably how you were getting so much work done, because you're in your own world and not accepting applications for people to join you. One way to balance things out, make things a little bit more positive around the workplace, is to offer help a little bit more. And offering help is just kind of stepping out of your world for a little bit. Offer help and get to know other people around you. With Aquarius on the 6th house cusp, your coworkers really enjoy being able to come to you for the final say. They love getting your judgment on things. They love getting your advice on things. They almost really find entertainment in getting your opinion on random things, if it's work or if it's not. Now, one thing that can turn into hatred down the line, it would probably take a while for this to happen, is how lofty you are. You're kind of disconnected, and it's a very typical thing for Aquarius, but it's coming from a different place. It's you're engaged and you know them, and like, you look people in the eye and you speak, but they can tell that you're not invested. They're just Karen from finance. They're just this person that is in your space. I don't know how else to describe it. You just seem transparent in a sense. Now, my advice would be to ask for help, which is kind of the opposite of what I said for Capricorn. Ask to borrow something. Ask for direction on something. Just ask questions and ask for help. It likens you to people. I don't feel like going into the psychology of it. You can look it up if you want to, but that's my greatest advice for the Aquarius in the 6th house cusp. Ask for help, and it makes you seem more agreeable. It makes you seem more invested. With Pisces on the 6th house cusp, your coworkers tend to really like you because you liken yourself to them. You act like them. You pick up their accents. You talk about the things that they like. You find a very good way to blend in socially, to blend in with your work environment, and sometimes almost become a part of the furniture. Like, you seem like you fit in so well that there's never a problem, because you never really stand out, and that's for better or for worse. Now, what is definitely for worse, what can make people dislike you or even hate you, is the fact that you lie so much. You're such a people pleaser, and the idea that you use your fluidity of creativity in your workplace so much, when you apply that fluidity to people, you come off like a liar. You cannot be fluid about your opinions based on who you're speaking to. You need to be fluid with your opinions based on what your opinion is. And then when your opinion changes, there's your fluidity, not how do you want to represent your opinion based on who you're speaking to. So be more upfront, be more honest, and you will shock people with how intelligent you are and how you actually have a personality, and how you do stand out because you're a part of us. You're not like a part of the wall. You're not a part of the furniture. You're a part of the unique individuals that make up this job. So you'll learn to blend in while standing out once you're a little bit more honest and upfront. So that's the end. This was me going through the 6th house and utilizing a nuanced context to get a nuanced interpretation. I really want to hammer in that you guys need to practice this. Practice doing things outside of what you're reading in books, outside of what you're seeing on the internet. Look at a house, understand that house as you understand it, and then apply it to other people so you can be a unique astrologer. That is what this whole series is about. The idea of nuance and being unique, and how to do so by picking up on the different contexts that reside in each and every house. Look at them in different ways. Per usual, if you like this video, like it. If you love it, share it. I love the comments. I'm loving the conversation. Share with me what's going on with you guys at work and and the relationship with your coworkers, and what are some of the nuances that you want to fill me in on or fill us in on down there in the comments. Help me keep this channel running, keep it moving, then I suggest that you hop over to my Patreon and give a couple dollars to help support my channel. I am actually gradually making improvements, but those improvements are going to rely on how much support I'm able to get so I can continue to improve. So it would be amazing if you guys could help me out. If you cannot, or if you don't want to, that is fine. It is great to be able to share the video, like the video, leave a comment, just show your support. I think that's about it. Guess who got After Effects?